everyone, and welcome back to another LEGO Hermitcraft video. Today, I wanted to ask you guys a question about the future of my LEGO Hermitcraft series. So, as you can see here, on the left, I have the Grian that I showed you guys in my very first custom minifigure series, which is just drawn onto a simple, drawing of a minifigure and colored, and then I did the face. And then on the right here, is what I think I might be doing going forward, where I render a minifigure in a program called Mechabricks, and then I put the printing on for the torso, legs, and head, because it's actually pretty easy to do as long as the character is facing forward. So it looks similar. The only main limitation with it is the fact that I won't have access to an infinite supply of colors. As you can see on the left here, Green's hair is like this yellowish green, but that color doesn't exist in LEGO. Instead, on the right, I used a light tannish color, which it doesn't look as good, but I think it's still obvious it's green. Another thing you might notice is his neck is the same light tannish color that his hair is, and this is another accuracy issue to LEGO's real Minecraft figures. If you look at the Steve and Alex figures, their head mold is actually molded in orange for Alex and dark brown for Steve, which for both them, that's the color of their hair. And that's because it makes it easier, that way LEGO doesn't need to do printing on all sides for the hair. So while it's barely noticeable, I think I might be doing that just because it's more accurate. And so I think it looks pretty good. I don't really have any problems with it. I was just wondering what you guys would think. Now, I did a few other figures as well. Here you can see I did Mumbo. On the left you can see my original one, and on the right you can see the new one. I think he looks pretty good. Another issue with him is the torso and legs on the one on the left, my original one, is like a dark gray but not black, because I wanted it to be able to print on his shoes. On the right, since LEGO doesn't make that kind of color in between gray and black, I had to just go with black, which I think looks fine actually. It looks definitely better on a real LEGO figure. And for his feet, instead of making them black, I made them a dark gray, even though that's barely noticeable. All the faces really won't be any different. And again, you can see his neck is black like his hair. So there's actually no printing where his hair is. That's just the molding underneath. And now the final figure I did was Xisuma, which you can see he shows off how I could do dual molding for both arms and legs. And that makes it much easier this way, because for my figures where I drew them, it was much harder because I would need to take a minifigure and then crop the arms at the specific angles. And so you can see on the right, it looks fine, because again, the arms have, LEGO has a similar dark nougat color, I believe it's dark orange exactly. And for Xisuma's legs, he uses, I believe, dark tan or something. And you can see his torso and head prints are nearly identical. But for him, the head print works fine, because the dark gray is actually the head mold, and then all the printing on top of that, like the light purple, light gray, and then even darker gray, which you can see around his mouth area, is all printed on. So he actually works really well in this new style. But now I did one other thing for Xisuma. I tried out a render of him in a more dynamic pose, not just facing forward. So if I were to do it this way, I might occasionally, or for all the figures, have a render of them in a position like this, but I'd mainly show them all facing forward, because, well, I think this looks pretty good. It's definitely harder to do, especially on the torso if it's more detailed. Another thing with this one is the head always has to be facing forward, which you can see here. If I compare it to the previous one, it's not at any different angle. The head's always going to be facing forward, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. But LEGO usually puts out renders for these with all their CMF figures, so I think I might try doing that as well. But what do you guys think of all 4 of these figures? Tell me whether I should do this in the comments down below. But for now, that's all I've got time for today. Goodbye!